All right. Shalom, shalom, and shalom, Sister Deborah, prophetess in the wilderness. And you know what? That's all right with me. Coming again on this devil platform with another message. And I would say this is a lovely evening in which the Most High God has made. And I, Sister Deborah, shall and I will rest therein. I'm coming with a message regarding the mystery of grace and mercy. Earlier today, I was live on Facebook, and I really didn't cover uh, grace and mercy really like I really wanted to, because in the process of me uh, uh, videoing the message, I was pretty much going to and fro uh, in the yard and the carport where I was having a yard sale. Okay. So I really didn't cover it like I really wanted to. But the Father said to me, I want you to do it tomorrow. And I'm going to tell y'all, I am so beat. I got into bed almost 5 o'clock, and I said, that's it. I can't, I can't go no further. But I sat there and held on and not fall asleep. I just sat there, just held, doing one of these nodding off, and because I wanted to put this here message out. I think that this is a very important message, and I'm not gonna fall asleep on my Most High Yah, not with a message like this. And I want to kind of, and it's gonna be really good, you guys, because you're gonna find this real interesting. You're gonna even most likely, uh, he that has an ear, let me just say that, let him hear. Uh, this grace and mercy, I'm going to kind of explain it to you. And when I was live on uh, Facebook this morning, I didn't have the Bible. And the Father told me, with this one, you don't need it. Woo wee! Now you stirring me up, Father. You're putting fire on me. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, he told me that. You don't need no book. Speak that thing. So that's why I did not want to fall asleep this evening. There were 4 times I went back on YouTube and said, I'm going to cancel that 8 o'clock. It's supposed to have been 7. I canceled, made it 8. I said, nope, I'm going to cancel this one here. I can't do it. I can't. And you know what? Now that I'm here, I just thank the Most High God and Him alone for just giving me the strength to press on. Because this is some message what I'm about to speak. And I'm covering grace and mercy because, and I'm gonna tell you, He told me, and you ain't gonna need the Bible to cover grace and mercy. But when it get down to eternal life, we're gonna dip in a little bit. But I'm also let grace and mercy fall in with eternal life as well. So what the Father was sharing in my spirit, and it's a beautiful thing because I was learning when I was speaking this morning, and I'm like, wait a minute now, wow, this is deep. And what the Father wants you all to know, that grace and mercy, it's not something that belongs to you. It's not something that you are entitled to. It's not something that you work for or you earned or you're holy than thou or you belong to a church made by a man head and the hands of flesh. Grace and mercy goes right back. That's why he was telling me you don't need it. He said you don't need the Bible for this one, Deborah. It's in you. Grace and mercy is that same give and gave. It's nothing you done to be entitled to it. It's nothing you said. It's not because you feel you know spirit and truth. It's not because you think that you have the light. It is not because you have the Ruach HaKodesh. You see? It is not because you accept Yeshua HaMashiach. The Father wants you to know grace and mercy was a give and gave. That he not only gave to one and not the other. He wants you to know when Solomon was talking about everything under the sun, when one was given, when it rains on the just as well as the unjust. When the Father wants me to park into you, that grace and mercy that he gave, he gave it to the righteous as well as the unrighteous. So he's saying that the problem today, and he let me know now, Deborah, and it's not the problem. 99 point issues are problems in the world today, in the bosom of the Father. He's just saying he sees a host of problems. But he has a problem with people got this mindset that they are entitled. They are entitled. So when I got out of the bed and I said, okay, Father, I'm finna rumble. He said, okay, but let me tell you a little something. He said, you know, when you be talking near, guess what? It's because it is similar to me giving them grace and mercy. And I'm going to break it down to you. Because grace and mercy is not something you earn. It ain't that you entitled to it. It has nothing to do with the Hebrew Israelite. It has nothing to do with Israel nor Judah. It has nothing to do with Yeshua HaMashiach. It has nothing to do with you having the Holy Spirit, which is the Ruach HaKodesh, as you say. It has nothing to do with spirit and truth. It has nothing to do with the light. He said, tell them, from the heavens did I pour out grace and mercy. And your mindset feels that you are entitled to grace and mercy because you don't know the mystery of it. Grace and mercy has been poured out on the just as well as the unjust. To me, that's some sort of creator. That he have not bind grace and mercy or bound grace and mercy from the unjust. To me, that's deep, y'all. It's real deep. It's so deep rooted in my spirit. He said, you don't need the Bible. Not for this one. He said, speak that thing. Grace and mercy, mystery, is given to those who are the servants of the Most High Yah, that knows that they cannot take it for granted, that they are entitled, or because who they are in Yah, they receive grace and mercy. Those are people who are not born of the Spirit. When you take something like unto grace and mercy from the Most High Yah and you apply it to you as if you are entitled, what is it? The unjust, how would they take to you? How would they say if they were to stand before you? How would they say to you that grace and mercy's been poured out on us too? Then what would you say? If the unjust stood before you and said to you, I know grace and mercy been poured out on me. And then what would you say? Oh, it was only for the righteous. It's only for the tribe of Judah in the house of Israel. That's the mindset he's saying that's out here today. Lost without a cause. And even if they had a cause, they'll still be lost. So what he's saying is he don't like at all the way that people take on this grace and mercy as if he hasn't done anything. Tell me, where will you see love connected to the mercy, grace and mercy? It ain't love. It's give and gave. Because what? He poured it out on the just as well as the unjust. It's something that he continued to give us, y'all. Still in spite of you giving yourself to him. Still in spite of you understanding him or care to pray to him. Still, no matter what, if you never call on his name, he wants you to know, I still poured out grace and mercy upon thee. And where we're at today is sometime. Boy, this is deep for a prophet to be living in this day and time and speaking regarding it, but not a ear can hear. But it's going back like he said. Only I can give them an ear to hear, Deborah, and an eye to see. All they have right now is grace and mercy. But let them know, you ain't the only one got grace and mercy. The unjust got it too. You think the grace and mercy that the unjust has is going to stop them from doing what they're doing? No. Is it going to stop the just? No. It ain't going to stop nobody from doing what they're doing. It's just what he did and what he did. He poured out this grace and mercy upon us in a way that's so awesome. And today, you won't hear it in the church, but I keep remembering these are church. These are the church that built with the flesh, by the flesh hand. So they are to not be able to master grace and mercy or know the mystery of grace and mercy. Grace and mercy, he says that it is not something that one need to be taught. Taught for what? I gave that to them. So what? You're going to teach them? Let me give you an example. So Deborah, you're going to teach them about grace and mercy, and they going to do what? Nothing. Them knowing the power in grace and mercy, they still ain't going to do nothing. They're going to wake up and be the same individual they were before you even spoke it. So I want to tell you, me speaking grace and mercy in the mystery, the Father said it ain't going to do nothing for you. He just want to let you know. Grace and mercy was a give and gave from him. And it's not detached to who you think you are in him. Or he that is unjust. He could care less. But it don't keep my Father from pouring out his grace and mercy. Okay? Atheists, grace and mercy from the Most High Yah. Serial killer, grace and mercy. All right, Father Yah. See, we don't know him like that. We don't know him for really who he is. You know why? We never knew him as give and gave. That's why when Yeshua was given an example of him separating the goat from the sheep and bringing the sheep on the right hand and the goats on the left and taking the sheep to the altar, where he tells them, the sheep, this was created for you before the foundation of the world. Grace and mercy was given as that was given before the foundation of the world. What has happened is there is no feeling for a creator in the land today. And him bringing grace and mercy, because you know what? I'm gonna shoot down you. Sister Deborah, when I say my prayers, I add that in it. I just thank you for all the grace and mercy you have poured out on the world. I don't say just me. I don't say just me. Why? Because I know that the way he's taught me in the wilderness, this is something you ain't gonna hear nobody praying about. They so busy praying and getting on their knees. Give me this, give me this, give me this. I want this, I want this. Bless me with this, bless me this. Take care of my kids, take care of this. But no grace and mercy, not seeing really him for who he is. He would have to be one creator to pour out grace and mercy on the just as well as the unjust. You want me to tell you why? Because those who are falling under the unjust, they're following the serpent seed. But what? They still get grace and mercy. See, that's why I say y'all don't know him. You want so bad to feel within yourself that you do. Because the words in which he gives me in these last 2 weeks, it's just like, Father, it's like you're talking strictly to a brick wall. He said, but that's that example I gave you years ago. That's why I told you, run that race. And I kept telling you, keep running that race. And if you see that brick wall, find every way you can to go around it. If it takes you having to climb on top of it to get to the other side. But Deborah, run that race. It's the journey in which I'm called. So when he's sitting here speaking to my spirit, I felt myself saying things, and even my flesh had to check me out. I'm on live on Facebook speaking on this grace and mercy. My flesh was like, where did you learn that? I'm serious. When you learn how to speak in a way that the spirit is leading you, your flesh gonna always say, well, wait a minute, like, because it's used to wanting to lead and rule and control you. That's what it meant when it says, get your flesh under the subjection to your spirit. Just imagine people who don't even consider the fact that they have a spirit. And you go marry one of the males in the tribe of Judah, who's now telling you now got to submit to him. Want me to tell you how sick he is and how sick the both of y'all are? He don't understand. The only thing that you can submit to him is your flesh. And who wants that? Praise the mighty Yah. That's why I say, when people are on these platforms, I ain't gonna say if they were. The Father want me to always say it as if people are on this platform teaching people all kind of flesh, born of the flesh message, that they can't even see a pin needle of born of the spirit. And that's why he was also dealing with me about endurance. He said, Deborah, it's a spirit I gave you, because you're going to need it. And I like to say to the Most High Yah, thank you so much. Thank you so much for knowing my need. What need am I talking about? He knew that, okay, you're going to need this, baby. He's talking about in my spirit. I'm going to need to endure in my spirit. Because my flesh, as well as my spirit, is seeing how the world is moving. And it's not moving in a way that I'm supposed to be being up and being down about it. It's moving in a way of my father's prophecy. But I can also understand his prophecy in the spirit realm. See, a lot of people are taking the book, the Bible, the 1611, and all these lost books and found books, and trying to hammer you all in the head that it's like this. No, he never told you it come by reading. Praise the mighty Yah. He said this thing come by here. This thing come by here. And he knows when he say by hearing, he that has an ear, which is singular, mean one ear, not these natural ears, but the spirit of who he is. That's the ear he's talking about. And we're running around thinking that it's our natural ears. That's why you see people running to these academies and to these schools and to these churches. You know, every day the doors open, Bible class, so they can eat from the one that is the head over their body. Because anytime you got a head over your flesh, that's a head over body. And that's what you see in the world today. I don't care who they are. They are the head, which is a flesh head. And the body that they rule is the church. This was built with flesh hands. Too, like he told y'all. And the one that's have the body with the people, the flesh, as they church, guess what? Those are also people born of the seed of Satan. They don't know it. So when you think that they are sitting and following traditions of the flesh, that's the head, you see, and they thinking that they're going somewhere heavenly after it's all over. How you going to go anywhere for eternal when you following a flesh head? Come on now. That's why it's not important to make sure that you are drilling everybody in your household in the way that you understand. You first got to understand, in all your get understanding. You first have to get that understanding, because there's another understanding. The one he said, in all your get understanding, that's the Ruach HaKodesh. Understand what the Spirit is saying unto thee. But there's another understanding. It's the understanding of the flesh. And 99.9 has that, and it's okay. It's okay. Because where we're at today, it's on, y'all. It's almost, woo-wee. When I say almost, it is there. And no one is worried about it. But should they? No, they shouldn't. Because they're taking advantage of the grace and mercy that has been poured out upon them. And you ask them, what is their hope? How do you feel about present in this day and time? First thing they should say, boy, I'm telling you, there is a creator. And I thank him for his grace and mercy. They ain't gonna tell you that. They ain't gonna tell you nothing like that, because they don't know nothing about the grace and mercy. They don't know that grace and mercy, he gave you that to keep from taking your darn tails out of here. You see how sick you are? You see how sick you are? Grace and mercy was given unto you so he won't do away with the world. Bam! Take him out with the blink of an eye. Then he don't have to worry about keep pouring out grace and mercy. But because grace and mercy is being poured out today, on all four corners. This is why the world is where it's at today, where you can see it, where you can live in it. Even if it is the worst of the worst, the wicked of the wicked, you're still in it when his grace and mercy is allowing you to. A lot of people don't know that. That's the mystery of grace and mercy. Take away grace and mercy. Take away grace and mercy. That grace and mercy is allowing you to be present. That grace and mercy is allowing everything in your life. That's that grace and mercy. Why? Because you ain't entitled to nothing. But because he poured out grace and mercy. And still pouring it out. That's why when you come to judgment, that's why there ain't gonna be no more grace and mercy. Because if it was, okay, tell you what, when you get to the throne for judgment, if there was some more grace and mercy, guess what? I don't think nobody go to hell. Not even Satan. Because if I'm gonna shoot it out. Y'all, I'm gonna show you how y'all sick. Y'all sicker than sick. I mean that dark wicked sickness. Satan got grace and mercy. Praise the mighty Yah. Satan got grace and mercy, and Satan knows he got grace and mercy. When Father Yah, wait a minute, how does Satan know he got grace and mercy? And humans that's walking around with your breath of life and an image like unto you, and they don't even consider it. Okay, y'all didn't know? Satan knows. He got grace and mercy. Why? Y'all would have been destroyed him. And he would have what? Never exist. Ever, ever, ever again. Not even in hell. Grace and mercy. The power of grace and mercy has nothing to do with love. Grace and mercy has nothing to do with Yeshua HaMashiach. Grace and mercy has nothing to do with how righteous you are or how unrighteous you are or how much spirit and truth you have, how much light you think you got, how much ruach you think you have of the Most High Yah. Grace and mercy is still yet poured out, no matter what you do, what you say, and how you say it. Grace and mercy is still poured out. And if Satan knows that he got grace and mercy, Sister Deborah knows that she got grace and mercy, what's wrong with y'all? That's why. A year and a half, in between a year and a half and 2 years, I told you you're going to be gone. This is where the Father was dealing with me with today. It's gone. It's gone. Grace and mercy. Let's get into it. The Father began to tell me, Deborah, tell them, okay? Tell them grace and mercy was given when he created all things. Grace and mercy. Grace and mercy was given when he created all things. Why? Because he gave it to you. You didn't earn it. You weren't entitled to it. It wasn't like you holier than I. It ain't like you all righteous and upright. Grace and mercy was given to you from the beginning of creation. Which means everything he created is a form of him pouring out grace and mercy. And then he began to say, and tell them, grace and mercy I gave my spirit my spirit, my image, my image. Every man, male and female born on the earth has a spirit. That's the image, like unto the Father. I gave that to them. It wasn't that they earned it, Deborah. It wasn't like they was entitled to it. Grace and mercy. Grace and mercy. Grace and mercy. And then he began to say, and what else did I give them, Deborah? What did he do? He gave you his only begotten son. His only begotten son. Where was you entitled to that? What said that you was holier than thou, that the only begotten son, you earned it. You entitled. He said what's going on today is so many people are caught up in that mindset that they are entitled. And this is one reason why there's no repentance. There's no concern. There's no praise. There's no nothing dedicated to him. And he almost make me feel like it's really bad. I start to say exactly the way I feel that he make me feel like. But what sense is me sharing that with you all? That's the relationship with me and my Father. And that's why I needed what he told me, he gave me when I was 58. He said, I gave you the endurance spirit. Oh, thank you so much. He said, no, you're going to need it. He said, you are going to need it. I mean, just like I'm saying it to you all, I heard it in my spirit. So I ain't gonna say it was a whisper. It wasn't something you're gonna need it. No. It was a whisper in my spirit. I gave you the endurance spirit. I said, oh, thank you. You're gonna need it. And here I am today. A living witness, not a dead prophet, a living one to tell you. To me, to even be on this devil platform, I see myself as 100 times blessed. I'm gonna be honest with you. Because what he pulling up on me, I'm like saying, I'm gonna be able to handle all this, huh? He said, no, it ain't you, it's me. I'm gonna handle it in you. And what he's trying to explain to me, all this that you're seeing, you notice you're handling it. You're feeling that thing, ain't you? I said, yeah, it's real bad. But the way I see it is, why ain't everybody else seeing this thing? See, everybody wants to role play this thing like they see what's going on. They could care less. And that's what he was talking about. He said, I got the mystery in grace and mercy, and they don't even know what it is. And when he went to telling me, Deborah, it's also a form of what you told them 2 years ago. And you've been telling them, give and gave. I didn't give you grace and mercy because I so love you. I gave you grace and mercy because I'm forever giving you. When I created everything in the earth, I did that for me, but I gave it to you. So everything he has done has been in the form of what he has given us and gave us. So what happened to grace and mercy? I gave you that too. Grace and mercy was given to you all. The just as well as the unjust. The just can come up to the unjust and say, when grace and mercy keeps me, you know what the unjust can say to the just? So what? It keeps me too. Praise the mighty Yah. He that is born of the spirit can walk up to he that is born of the flesh and say, grace and mercy is with me. You know what? He that is born of the flesh can pull up too. grace and mercy is with me too. You see what I'm saying? That's the mystery in it that you never heard on a pulpit. You'll never hear them teaching, preaching, even in their academy, in nothing that they have, because they don't know that. They don't know the power of the give and gave of grace and mercy. And then as I was speaking on live on Facebook, and it was speaking to me, and I had no idea. I just never thought of it. I just never thought of it, that without grace and mercy, nothing would be here, not even us. Nothing. So then he began to tell me, I give and gave them my spirit, my image, which is a spirit. I give and gave them life, my breath. I give and gave them my only begotten. I give and gave them everything they see with their natural eyes and their spiritual eyes. I gave them. And then he really got me with something that really made me really kind of feel sad. He said, guess what else? I give and gave them life, my own breath, Deborah. They can't go back to their book and say, Yah so loved us that he gave us his breath of life. You won't find it. But we know we living on his breath. So he what? He gave it to us. But it ain't like we entitled to it. And that's where the problem is with the fake ones until we think we gonna make it, is they feel so entitled. And that's a form of wicked and evil. When people feel they so entitled to something and put nothing into nothing they receive. That's why me in the bathroom, when I got out the bed, I washed my face to get ready to come alive. He said, Deborah, like unto you. You give. Look how you trying to do and be obedient. You're tired. I know what you've gone through. They don't. You fell asleep 3 times. Each time you fell asleep, you woke up and said, let me cancel this lie. Because the grace and mercy you feel that it's important that you speak it right now. And that's the thing about it. It was important. And see, he said, that's just like you. Yeah, you give and gave. Yes, you got grace and mercy because you're giving something to people who ain't even entitled. But you keep getting up trying to give. That's what grace and mercy is. Have you ever been in a situation where, let's say you're on your job, and these people are constantly writing you up or treating you in a way where you know that you're not entitled to be treated, or you should not be treated. And you still see them doing things for others, and then they're treating you a certain way. You see? But yet, you still hang in there. And you give them your best. You still do your job. You still come on time. You still get off in spite of the way that they treat you on this job. You still what? Give your best. You having grace and mercy toward them in spite of what they do to you. So even though walking up evil and wicked, and you've been there 3 and 4 years and you want to hold on to your job, you're giving them grace and mercy. That's the form of grace and mercy. They are not entitled to you. They're not entitled to you, period. A good worker, a responsible worker, a worker who shows up and does a good job. They're not entitled. But you keep pulling on in. Year after year after year, day after day, month after month, you keep pulling in. Yeah, you got a lot of haters, a lot of people who don't like your nation or your culture, but yet you keep pulling in year after year after year after year. Why? Because you're giving them grace and mercy, even though they're not entitled. That's what he was saying to me. You're like unto me. They're not entitled to this pure word in which thou hast given thee, but you keep pulling up, giving grace and mercy. People don't understand Yah's grace and mercy is not something you entitled to, or nobody's grace and mercy you are entitled to. That's why the world is so sick, because everybody feel that they're entitled to something unearned. But then when the kingdom is opened up, everybody thinking they guess all of us gonna shoot straight in. We're gonna shoot straight in. And we have shown the fruit of not even recognizing grace and mercy. But I'll be there when you get when I get there, Father. Yeah, I'll be there. I'll be in line. I know I'll be waiting for you. I can't wait till everything is over. Wait a minute, hold up, baby. Where is your grace and mercy? Or do you know if you have it? Where have you done anything that represent the Most High Yah without gaining anything that's just even in your family? Those that you keep saying, I'm going to leave them alone this year. I ain't going back. I ain't going to deal with them. They like this. They like this. They like this. But every time they call up, oh, okay, can you do that? Yeah, I do it. You're giving them grace and mercy even though they're not entitled. That's what the Father is saying to us this evening. Recognize his grace and mercy that none of us is entitled to, not even Sister Deborah. But because of who he is, he keep pouring it out. He keep pouring it out. Let me give you another one, and it's coming to my head. And this is a powerful one. As I was in Revelation, I saw in Revelation 20 how he sent that angel down to open up the bottomless pit to release Satan after the 1,000 years. He's releasing Satan. Satan coming up out of the bottomless pit just to do one thing. One thing. Anybody in the live chat, do you know what Satan is coming out of the bottomless pit to do? Anybody in the live chat? Anybody? To sell you out, to sell me out. I'm just kidding. You say to sell you out, okay? The Father will. Not you. I knew, I was just joking. To destroy. Y'all know what Satan coming up to do? And this is going back to let y'all know. Because we don't know the grace and mercy of the Most High Yah. Don't you think that Satan would be pleased that he was locked down for 1,000 years and he get to come up to do one more job for who? The Most High Yah. Recognize my Father's grace and mercy. Even though this message is not for you too. Because the Father said, if it's in you, it's in you. If it ain't, it ain't. It's not something that's going to pull up in you right now. It's something that was born in you to already know the level of his grace and mercy. And those that are like unto him, they too understand even their life would be pouring out information to a bunch of people who's not entitled, but feel that they are. Grace and mercy. That's what he was telling me in the bathroom. It's like unto what you do. And I was like, wait a minute now, Father, I ain't doing what you did. You done poured out grace and mercy. You done poured out grace and mercy in everything you created. You done poured out everything. You done poured out grace and mercy when you gave us the only begotten son. You done poured out grace and mercy when you gave us your image. You done poured out grace and mercy when you gave us your breath. Wait a minute, hold up. I ain't done none of that. He said, but what you doing, Deborah, in spite of, you're still pouring out grace and mercy. In spite of you knowing that they are not entitled. You just study speaking. And then where I get in trouble is he'll turn around and he'll say, that's why I didn't say nothing. I said, okay, I'm gonna go in here and go on live. That's what exactly, you know why? He can shut me down any time of the day. He can shut me down. All he has to say, I teach you from the wilderness. I give you spirit and truth and the light. That's even grace and mercy that I give you. You'll turn around and and every time you've been on these pulpits, these platforms, you always say what I gave you. And you already have the gift of discerning. You know on your page, even those who come on, who clock in, clock out, those who say certain things, those who don't say nothing. You already know who in the live and who ain't. You already know. That's what he was checking me on. You already know, but you do what? You pour out your grace and mercy by continually speaking, even though you know it's not deserving. But you keep on doing it. So let me show you the key to this grace and mercy. So this is what he ended up explaining to me. He summed it up. Tell them everything I done was in give and gave. Grace and mercy was given and I gave it to them. And it's nothing they done to deserve it. But let them know this, Deborah. The final grace and mercy is eternal life. Is eternal. Is eternal life is grace and mercy. Why? Because it's given to the one he chose before the foundation of the world. So a lot of us is down here thinking, I got the Holy Spirit. I got spirit and truth. I got the light. You know, I got this. I got that. I got. Me. Man. Wait a minute. Hold down. Through that same grace and mercy that's going to bring you back to the Lamb Book of Life. That was grace and mercy. Because the lamb was slaughtered before the foundation of the world was one of the keys of letting you know. Everybody that's in the Lamb Book of Life, guess what? It ain't nothing you did. It ain't nothing you said. It ain't nothing you think or feel. You see what I'm saying? It ain't got nothing to do with who you say you are, or if you say you have the ruach. Oh, you a tribe of Judah. I'm a true Jew. I'm Israel. I'm a European. I'm a heathen. No matter what you say, grace and mercy gonna pull your tail right back into the Lamb Book of Life. Ain't that deep? That grace and mercy already got everything set up from the floor to go to the destiny in which was already written before heaven and earth were created. Grace and mercy. If you ever want to know who that is, that's the Most High Yah. He's a give and gave, and he gave and he give us grace and mercy every second, minute, hour, day, week, month, years. That's his grace and mercy. And that's why I say it's so important to thank him. And I never say, oh, Father, I just thank you for your grace and mercy. No, I don't, y'all. I don't. I said, Father, thank you for your grace and mercy you have poured out upon all on the earth. Because I know it's just that much. You know why? Don't you think he get angry? Don't you think he's seeing what everybody's doing? Don't you think he should be? Nope. He is to a point where, wait a minute, didn't I create this? Wait a minute now. This is what it really is, but it was some doing that brought this to, but yet, bam. This is still his story. This is still his book. And I ain't talking about this Bible, y'all. I'm talking about the word that rests in his bosom. The word that rests in the Father's bosom is not a paperback book. Come on now. If he worship us, we worship him in spirit. What makes you think the book, the Bible, is the only way? And it is the word. Can't be. He has a right hand that holds all power. In that right hand, he has a finger. He has put his signature in the book. And the moment it was found out that it was in there, the Roman Catholic, Satan had the Roman Catholic be his right hand to go and smear everything up and down. So what happened? He said, tell you what, tell them that I had a ram in the bush. What was your ram? What was your ram? It was not just Yeshua HaMashiach. It was that he was going to come back and now live in us when he never lived in them in time past. That's why you cannot take Torah and beat it up inside people's head, up and down people's head. Because Torah didn't have what we have today. He lived in us for real. You see? So therefore, it's a big difference. A big difference. Then he haul off and say, greater is he that's in thee. Wait a minute, hold up. Were you in them in Torah? No, Deborah. That's why I'm greater in you. Because I wasn't greater then. They didn't even do nothing I told them, like y'all don't do nothing I tell you. So therefore, there's no way. They never had me in them, you know, to tame their spirit to my will. But I today live in you. And if I'm living in you, I'm greater than he that is in the world. So they can get Torah and all these lost books and sit down somewhere and stop clowning and learn what spirit and truth is. The light. That is a light to lead you in what? Darkness. So when he poured up with, I gave and give them eternal life. That was through grace and mercy, y'all. That was through grace and mercy. That was his grace and mercy giving us life. You entitled to it? No, you ain't. You never was entitled to eternal life. Then I'm going to show you how we live and we die, just as Hosea chapter 4, verse 6 says. My people, he called them, Deborah, they are, not they will be, or they might be, they are destroyed. Okay, I get it. No, you don't. Due to something, Deborah, knowledge. Don't stop there. Keep going. Why? Because they reject knowledge. They reject knowledge. But I tell you, they perish. They are destroyed. But yet I call them my people. But I tell you, they destroy too at the same time, don't you? Sure right. Because people are coming and going, not even understanding grace and mercy. They come and go and not understand what is life. right here today. They come into the earth and they die and it's destroyed without having the truth that it is between flesh and spirit. That middleman was put there to confuse people so they won't be able to see where the true battle really resides. And that's why people can't stand, because they don't know that there's only spirit or there's flesh. They thinking it's a middleman called soul that kind of let the two battle between each other. The Roman Catholic put that in there. Okay? Why he tells you, you either born of the flesh or you're born of the spirit. Flesh has its mind, it has its wisdom, its knowledge, and its understanding. It has its feeling, it has its mood swings, flesh. But the spirit has those same things, but it's in the spirit. And because we're not searching our spirit, we really don't know who our flesh is, because we never knew who our spirit is. Because the spirit is the one that says, get the flesh, not the soul. Get the flesh under subjection. But when you're dealing with the soul, then they cause you to battle. Well, wait a minute, the soul this, the soul that, wait a minute, just cut all that cheese. Flesh and spirit. Which one you gonna let rule you to tell you your destiny come judgment? Because one is going to tell you right now. Say, for instance, Sister Deborah is 62. What I have lived and what I'm living even up to today, I see that I'm spirit. I don't see no way I could possibly be flesh. Impossible. Because of who he is. That's so great in me. That called me to him before the foundation of the world. See, 99.1 billion pastors, bishops, prophets, prophetess, Maureen's, priests, apostles, watchmen, seers, Maureen's, they will never stand on this devil platform and tell you that they were predestined, ordained, and foreknew by the Most High Yah before the foundation of the world. They won't tell you that, because he said they say they see, they cannot see. They say they hear, they cannot hear. He's telling you they can't see nor hear because I'm not the one greater in them. They're greater in themselves. And that's what they continue to teach. I can't say the midnight hour no more. Y'all know how I used to say. He said, don't be saying that no more. They ain't got no more nothing. That's it, Deborah. You see? So when he went in and he wanted me to sum it up with grace and mercy is also going to bring you back to eternal life. Praise the mighty Yah. Because grace and mercy had planted you in the Lamb Book of Life. Why? It wasn't looking at what you did, how you did it, how you said the name right, how you did, how holy thou art, how you dress, how you tied your head. Grace and mercy gonna bring you back to eternal life in heaven, because that's where you come out of. That's where you shall return. Same grace and mercy. Why? Because grace and mercy is letting you know you're getting eternal life through grace and mercy again. Why you say that, Deborah? Because you didn't earn it. 99 trillion don't even know if they even got a calling. 99 trillion don't even know who they are, or what purpose, or how to do anything that has to do with the Most High Yah. But grace and mercy gonna bring you back to eternal life. Oh, yes, it will. That's going back because grace and mercy is a form of who the Father is in spite of who you are. In spite of who you are, it's about who he is. It's not about who you are. It's about who he is. And grace and mercy said, I know you did, but I don't care. I had you up in the beginning. And even though you're down now, you still got to pull back up where I had you written in the Lamb Book of Life. That grace and mercy, y'all, is a mystery in itself. It's doing it up. And that's why Sister Deborah knows that grace and mercy is still allowing things to still exist on the face of the earth, even though Revelation is showing up and showing out. Matthew 24 is too. Isaiah, Ezekiel, Jeremiah, they're cutting up from the floor all the way. And even though they're doing that and you all are not really focusing or giving the glory to the Father for those he sent down here with the prophecy. See, how is this? This is where I'm confused. How is it that Satan and his crew can go into this book and try to mimic the will of the Father? They don't go close. They don't get close, but they tell the story. How could that be? And humans can't tell it like it is. They won't tell it like it is for nothing. I sat back and I said, Father, the most confusing thing for Sister Deborah is to watch people who've been on YouTube all these years still hooping and hollering about what the white man done. There is a full hardcore denial. But that denial is what I said to y'all 2 years ago. Gone. That's why it's denied. Because they're gone. Because they're gone. They seem to not understand why the men of Judah is cutting up like they are. They seem not to know why the daughters of Zion is cutting up like they are. It's like they go strictly to dumb city. But I get it. They need more subscribers and likes and praise to their message than to speak spirit and truth on this devil platform. Pull up spirit and truth with the prophecies of the prophets. Pull up spirit and truth when Yeshua HaMashiach told us of these days. Pull up spirit and truth when Yah has spoken these days to Jeremiah, Daniel, Ezekiel, Isaiah. Oh, nobody don't want to pull it up. Nobody. And it's okay. Because grace and mercy is what's holding you up. That's why that's why people are not doing anything that is connected to the Most High Yah. I know it sounds like they are. I was on here and I said, what is it? GOCC. If fools follow that, I can see why the Father sat in the heaven and wrote his 2 books. The books with an S and the book. Sister Deborah, can fully see, when I say see, understand through the spirit, why the Most High Yah had a Lamb Book of Life and the books for the lake of hell. I see why. I see and I fully understand in the spirit realm why this need be. Because to be high like he is, and to look low, all he could say, hey, I already had it divided. I know this one was going to go this way, and I know this one's going to go this way. That's why I put this one here, and I put this one here. See, I see why. Because I'm the person that's down here living it in the flesh. Understanding it in the spirit, but living it in the flesh. That's why it's confused me to hear what people are saying. Okay, let's take an example. Deion Sanders. it was one while when he was on TBN, he used to always talk about his experience that the father, because he almost lost his life several times. I mean, really, almost that was it. I mean, really, for real, y'all. And he used to always give his testimony. And from that time on, I think those two situations, one was, I think he was on drugs and alcohol, and the father brought him through. And then one, he was in a real critical car accident. So those was his testimony. That was years ago. So where Deion Sanders is at is still in his love. He's in what he loves. But what happens is when you are serving an idol God, you're loving your idol, which is loving football more than you love Yah. If you love Yah more than football, then you'll be trying to stand on the mountaintop as Deion Sanders and tell the world, y'all, let's get it right. Let's do what's right. But because you refuse to go in the area of which you used to preach and speak about, how the Most High did this, did, you turned away and went to your idol God, which is your love, which is football. That's why when a lot of them get involved in wanting to hang on to the sports in the way of battling on this devil platform about what they doing here, what they do. Listen, y'all, this little hen here, how 36. I was 36 years old when I come to understand all of that sports is the power of the elites. Do y'all know who the elites is? These are the people who rule the world, and they tell who win, who lose. And how did I find that out? I wanted to get involved because I love football, y'all. I love football. Matter of fact, I love sports, but I love football. And I was always good with who's going to win. Because in my mind, I was thinking I was using my natural instinct, but I didn't realize that ain't your natural. You using that spirit. You see what I'm saying? So once I realized that I was tagging on all the winners and who's going to win, see, because I was using that other side of me to see who wins. Woo-wee, you in trouble. You go get yourself in trouble. So I decided where I was working at the hospital, I was a chef. And when I got a hold of what they were doing, I was like, I kind of like that. Because I knew what I was capable of doing. So I would call my brother in California, and we were talking. He said, well, what do you know about that? And I was just telling him, he was trying to figure out, how did you know about that? Yes, he did. He was trying to figure it out. He was a football coach for many years. He played football. So I'm just saying, he was like, what do you know about that? And I said, I'm thinking about getting involved in that. What was it? It was, let me get it right. Hey, what would we call that? Where you play it every week to see who wins. And you have to get the winners of the team, who's going to play. I was good at it, y'all, but I wasn't playing it. I wasn't doing it for money. So what I saw was that I was capable of knowing the winner. So I would make sure I watch every game. But my stupid self, y'all, when I watch football, I like a real game. All this here set up from the floor up clowning, I never was into it. So once I got into this and I started to see, wait a minute, I'm calling these winners out, and I'm saying, no. That one should have won. What's going on here? No, And I was going to be the person that set the forms up for who's playing who. And people pay into the bucket, I put it like that, who they think gonna win, and whoever win and come up with the true player, the winner, they get the money, right? That's all illegal, y'all. That's gambling. But what I did when I went in it, because I love football so much and I saw them doing this, see, I didn't know they did stuff like this. I was like, ah. And every time you turn around, even my brother was saying, like, well, how do you know that? You know, who was winning? Once I realized I can know who was winning. But guess what came with that, y'all? That's how I found out who was behind it all. See, I didn't know. I didn't know that the elites were behind actually who gonna win and who ain't. Oh, they behind all of that, you all. They behind all of that. Your birth certificate, your social certificate, they behind it all. So I'm like, wait a minute. So that's why I'm not getting a good game. So I started to get mad. I said, now, wait a minute. I'm watching these games. Why is he tackling like that? Why is he running like that? Why are all they runs straight through the center? All these. How y'all gonna win if you gonna do that? And then I realized this sister was 36 years old, had just had a baby. And I realized, wait a minute, this thing is set up. That's how I found out that the whole sports, everything, the elites been hooked up to that mess all this time. So what I'm saying is, when you hear people talking about and then talking about what Deion Sanders is doing and how he's losing. I mean, not he's losing. He's playing real good, and these heathens are hating on him. Baby, that's a part of the game. When you roll with darkness, darkness gonna roll with you. Get out. And then what happened is, when I was 36, I decided to get away from football, period. Because once I understood what I was seeing in the spirit realm, that it was being set up. It was being set up. Because here it is. I'm seeing this team then won 7 times. Now they finna play a team that's have only won 1. So this team then won 7 times and no loss. This team over here then won 1 and 6 loss. 6 loss. So how is this team that has 6 wins and no loss win? How do they lose against the one that has 1 win and 6 loss? It didn't make sense. So I kept watching it and following it. I said, bam, there it is. So it was a couple of weeks later. I told my brother, I had been mastering it for about 2 months, y'all. And I told my brother, you watch that crap and you can't see all that set up in there. You couldn't get him to see that. Not men. They can't see that the elites is playing on them. And you thinking you going down there to get a good game. You're gonna watch a good football game. Okay? No, you ain't. You finna watch they crap, what they done set up. Same thing with voting. Sister Deborah ain't voted nothing but once out of her life. Why? Going back to what I was telling you all, I tried to explain to you all that you can be in the live chat. You cannot be in the live chat, and you can be in the area where the numbers showing who's who, how many is in here. If the Father would suffer me to do it under his charge, I tell you every last one of you about your life, what you did yesterday and how you did it. Okay? What type of trouble you in? What kind of blessing that's coming? You see? That's that TBN crowd that they buy into people. But Sister Deborah is the spiritual one. You see what I'm saying? That's why I don't go around saying it until my Father charged me to. That's why I say I know what you're thinking. And that's why I say fake it until you make it. I didn't used to say that. Because you see it and you can see the reactions and how people really conduct themselves through their words. You see what I'm saying? To how they move in and out. And then I start to feel that thing. So the spirit of discerning is a feeling as well. You don't just jump up and go, oh, this mean this. No. It's a feeling come with that. Because the Ruach is in you. And it teaches you how to use your spirit and him that is greater in you to work the spirit, the gifts of spiritual gift he put in your spirit. So he ain't gonna cut out on you. If he gave you a gift and he gave you administrative gifts, a position, he's gonna work that thing in you, and he ain't gonna forsake you. So as I was doing that football situation, my oldest brother, he was liking it as long as I was telling him who's gonna win. But when I was telling him it's all set up, and I never forget, I had a cab come pick me up and to take me somewhere one evening, and it was this old white man, and we was talking about the game, and I told him how I felt about watching football. I'm not into it. He said, "Oh man, I just can't believe a woman figured it out." That's what he said. He said, "I cannot believe," and he had to been probably like 70. He's an old white man, and he said, "I cannot believe a woman figured it out." That's what he said. Because I just like I'm telling y'all, but I kind of was like telling him why I got out of it, because we was talking about the game, and I was telling him about how I'm not into it no more, because I see it's something in between there, it's controlling all this stuff. And I broke that thing down to him. And he was like, "I'm just so surprised that a woman have figured it out." He said he's been knowing it since he was a young man. He always knew it. Now, see that? It's just that people don't want no truth about nothing. None whatsoever. And it's nothing wrong. See, what people think to know truth means to kill happiness, fun, enjoyment. No, I would rather walk into any place knowing truth than to walk in it in darkness. I don't care what nan one of you say. I will walk in that bad boy in truth before I walk up in that bad boy in darkness. No way. I wouldn't turn truth, spirit and truth over for darkness for nothing. Who? You see? So I know as an individual, you can have fun, you can have a good time, you can do, just like I was just telling you all, the Lamb Book of Life was written. The books for the lake of hell, it was written before he even created anything down here. You see what I'm saying? So that same grace and mercy gonna bring your butt back to that book, and your name gonna be in it. That same grace and mercy gonna bring you back to the book of life. Is that same grace and mercy gonna take those other ones to the lake of hell? Praise somebody, God. Grace and mercy gonna help you out. Come on, take your butt. And when I sit back and I see that we are teaching things, not prophecies, like GOCC. Why are you telling people that them people? Now listen to this, and this is the but the Father. I know you said it. I know you said it. Remember the last 2 years I've been telling you, Judy gonna be cuckoo. That's what he just said to me. Yeah, I told you they're gonna be gone, because I couldn't understand if I sit up and I watch 5 Europeans stating the people that that's coming over here are people from prison system, mental hospitals. They didn't even lock some up with firepower, y'all. And I ain't talking about no BB gun. I mean, for real high power fire. They're sending the gangs, everything over here. And you got the Negroes over here telling you, all those are our people. Yeah. GOCC record. How dare you, ugly fool, tell these sick people that they stay people. They already sick over here because they following you. Now you're making them even sicker to think that these people are coming over here are your people. They the people of Israel coming to us so we can tell them who they are. You ain't told the one that's here. What about all now, y'all? So they are preparing you guys to get ready to teach Israel. Where do you see that at? It ain't nowhere written, y'all. And it never will be. But because he leads the mass, the multitude, that's why they're following him. Because the multitude goes where the multitude goes. The great falling away has already taken place because they have fell away from any light, even a pen needle, any spirit of truth. They have already fallen away from the things that are spirit, you guys. That's what a great falling away is. A great falling away is when they have fell away from anything spirit and truth and the light. What Sister Deborah telling me. That's why I sit and I keep on saying to y'all, we're in spirit and truth and the light. The light is so you can see in darkness, and spirit and truth gonna walk you all the way, teaching you, showing you, revealing things to you, telling you the truth of the whole matter. You see? So therefore, anytime, but see, this guy can do that. He got academy, he got schools, and he got that, I think that what's that thing the government give them? 401(k) or whatever, QRP, I don't care. But he got all this money that he collects from the mass of the tribe of Judah. Big time. It ain't like he got all of the black people involved into his. But I want to let you all know, this Hebrew Israelite movement is very, very little. The majority of the tribe of Judah here in the United States don't know nothing about who they are. Don't know nothing about who they are and don't care. You see what I'm saying? So he said, those that's coming across the border is our people. That's the house of Israel. And they're coming here because Yah is wanting us to tell them they are the people. You ain't told the majority of them here. Not even half of them here know it. So how is Yah, just like Franchall, that guy called Franchall, he sits and he deals with numbers. He deals please hold on. I hope this is not an emergency. I'm on live. How may I help you? Posted what? Let me call you back. That kid talking way out in left field somewhere. But he's speaking of, and I'm gonna tell y'all, I'm for real, y'all. I need to not. This is also a part of why I know it's important to get off of YouTube, because YouTube is in a state, and Facebook too. They are in a state of strictly disrespecting my father. And I'm not talking about a little bit, 100%. These people on here are strictly disrespecting the Most High God. I mean, for real. And nobody seems, it's like they don't seem to see all the prophecies are being fulfilled. Somewhere along the line, I'm not asking the Father to hurry up or to rush him, but because of what I see in the spirit realm, I'm waiting to see that. And the more he let me see it, the more I'm sitting here waiting for it. Because I believe that the people are truly 100% entitled to the judgment of the Most High Yah right now. You know, my time is not his time. His way is not my ways. But as a prophetess in the wilderness, bring it on, Father. Bring it on. That's how I see it. Because no one has nothing in them that want to teach truth, that want to live truth, want to think truth, want people to know truth. Everybody want that check from these platforms. They want that glory. They want that honor. They want that praise. They don't give a rat's behind about spirit and truth, nor the light. Because it's just like Beyonce and everybody else. We always say Beyonce, we talking about these here heathens too, that's movie stars and singers. It's just like them. That's their God. They wouldn't turn from that even if God came down and told them, come to me. They wouldn't come. That's just how far deep they out. Their God is who they idol. They own gifts. And that's how the people on these platforms is. And it bothers me so bad when you hear people on their teaching and telling the mass of Negroes that's gone, they gone, that these migrants is the house of Israel. When did he say he gonna bring them backwards? And why are they coming to the United States? And the United States has fallen. How dumb can a person get? How can you be that dumb? The word for it is not dumb. You know what it is? It's hellbound. I'm going to put it like that. Just go on and tell it like it is. How can that many people be going to the lake of hell? Then somebody say, well, Sister Debbie, you shouldn't say that. You ain't got no heaven, no hell. Let me tell you what the word out of the bosom of the Father. He got a hell and he got a heaven. If you think you only heaven bound, you most likely going to be hell. Because if you're going to deny hell and say it's heaven, something wrong with you. That means you hell bound. That thing is real. These people are talking about so many. How do you think and why would you think that things that is actually happening doesn't have its purpose and its reason? But what they're doing is they got their own purpose and reason to blame. And they get on this devil platform as if they've been dumb from their mother's womb and still dumb today. It's just amazing because the way that who would tell a multitude of people that these migrants are coming over here because they are the children of Israel. And them people sitting there stupid tails up believing it. When he said that, I said, see, Father, years ago when I boxed his eyes, I always knew it. I don't listen to him, but I'm just saying. Why would Sister Deborah X him out? Why would Sister Deborah X him out? Because he said that. Why would Sister Deborah X him out? Why would Sister Deborah X 99.9 of them out? Let me tell you why. Nothing should be coming out of your mouth but spirit and truth. And if it's lies, you are your father's children. That's why. I'm sitting here seeing what is happening. And people are waiting for something to happen. And I already seen it. And I'm just like this, okay, Father. It like he said, when I was 58, I gave you the endurance spirit. You think Yeshua came here without that endurance spirit? No, he didn't. He needed it. Why? Because he was 100% righteous, coming down to 100% unrighteous.